We're going to talk a little bit about reinstalling identity, and this comes back to habit modification and changing some of the programming and or habits that you are carrying with you that maybe are getting you results that you don't desire. So let's talk about reinstalling your identity. What does that look like for you? Getting really clear on how you show up. So your identity is just a mental operating system. Think about it like a computer. And there's things running in the background that you may want to take a little bit more awareness or a closer look at. So when it comes to like the fitness journey, weight loss journey, and this is going to correlate into other areas because I'm going to give you guys a couple different examples because I know some of you guys are hitting some bumpy spots. Things do happen to all of us. And again, coming back to some of the language, coming back to identifying the operating system, how we show up, how we respond, and how we react is going to be a game changer for you to be very, very aware of and change some of the components that are not serving you. So, example for the weight loss journey. So if I'm overweight runs like a background code. So again, I'm going back to the operating system. It's going to reinforce itself in there somehow. So if you identify with a identity that's not serving you, be aware of it. You know, I'm that guy, or I'm always late. So if you take that on, that's who you are. That's how you show up. Again, these are just examples. So you want to identify that and see how those programs, and be very aware of your language, how your emotional response is to certain situations, because your subconscious protects the programs around your identity currently. So if you're carrying some of these programs with identity that's not serving you, we have to make some changes in who do you need to become. You hear me talk about this a lot. And again, this is our operating system, and it allows you guys to step into and identify some of the things that may not be, that you may not be aware of that you have, and then how you act, how you show up, what does your day-to-day look like. And it gives you an opportunity. I know some of you guys have gone through some of the values test, the 100 needs, goal setting, some of those components inside my program. You will get a little bit more understanding of this is the mental operating system. So your identity first, behavior second. So we have to fix the root program. I am the guy who always shows up on time. I am the guy who is always successful. I am the guy who, to say with weight, I would reframe it because I'm going to talk about weight at the bottom, or weight loss. Let's recode that into maybe I release what is not serving me. I'm showing up, I'm getting rid of the things that are not serving me, and that could be excess body fat. So when you think about lose weight, it may imply it returns. Okay, so rethink of it and recode it into I release what no longer serves me. I show up the way that I want to show up in my new identity, and that's leaner, stronger, more energetic. These are, again, just examples. So be aware of the field. There's subconscious programming. So be aware of your environment, because there's subconscious programming going on around you all the time, specifically radio, TV, your environment, where you work, how people communicate there. It may be in your own household, and you may have to work on that. And it's a process, guys. And it's a process that I continue to try to get better at. I'm going to go back through some more training myself. The coach I used in the past just released some more training. I'm working on some higher level training for you guys as well. And you'll see some of these things roll out as we go. So a good example, again, from the subconscious, with subconscious programming all around you with TV commercials and things of that nature. Here's an example. And you guys may be familiar with this. Lay's potato chips. Bet you can't eat just one. So what is that telling you? What's that telling your subconscious programming? You better eat them all. It's challenging you. Hey, you just can't eat one. So let's eat them all instead. Again, this is just an example. So, how is your relationship around food? How is your relationship with being successful and doing the things you need to do? Um, how is your language built around that? So, let's go back to recode your language, okay? Making sure that you frame in positives or reframe if you need to. So, words will equal projections. So, you project things on people. This goes around with little kids as well. Example, if a teacher or somebody says something about your child, hey, he's always behind, or he's always slow, and that child hears some of those words or language, they may take that on, and that may start becoming their identity, because children have a harder time uh, rejecting some of the identities that's placed on them. Now, as adults, we may have some programming running, but we have to do a little bit more work to identify those programs and reprogram and change some of the operating systems. So, again, I talked about lose weight. You want to program your reality with language. This goes back to fitness is what I do. Fitness is easy. Dropping weight or dropping body fat, it is easy for me. So reframe some of the language and the thought patterns around your success. This can be used across every aspect of your life. I'm just framing a lot of this stuff in health and wellness, but this goes much, much, much beyond that aspect. This is what I'm helping you guys with and coaching you guys with. But I would like for you guys to challenge yourself in some of these components I'm talking about, because it's going to show up in other areas of your life, and it will allow you to be even better, guys, even better. Okay. Speak from the outcome, not struggle. Again, some of you guys are going through some rough patches. Hey, ever since COVID, a lot of things that I had in place for my future got disrupted 100%. I lost a lot of money. Never expected that to happen, but I had to, and what I did is I doubled down on my own mental programming to understand that how I was reacting to certain situations was not serving me. I wasn't showing up properly. So I doubled down on myself, because I knew if I could fix some of the things that was going on inside of me, my relationship with my wife, that I could impact you guys better, that I could impact my kids better. And I was okay with some of the process that I had to go through to change some of my inner workings. So you want to speak the outcome, not the struggle. Your environment is a live projection. So if your environment is in chaos, you want to kind of control that or fix some of those components where it's, hey, my environment is good. We communicate well. It is set up for success. So there's ways, and you may have to adjust some of your environmental surroundings. Again, that's a whole nother, and you've heard me talk a lot about this. Remove triggers from negative behaviors. Okay, so you want to have redesign rituals, and this may not impact some of you, it may impact others. You want to redesign rituals, not food centered. So maybe it's communication centered, maybe it's spending time centered. Spending quality time with your significant other, spending quality time with your children, asking them, allowing them to communicate and think outside the box, whatever that looks like for you guys. Okay, each one of you is a little bit different in different portions of your lives, and children, no children. So I have, I think, one of everybody. So you want to set and redesign rituals that serve you better. Okay, optimize, and this is the thing we still, I think all of us as guys in some format have struggled with. Some of this is sleep, because if you can optimize your sleep, it's going to allow better stabilization of hormones. You feel better. You get into a rhythmic pattern in your subconscious mind. When you sleep, ideas and thoughts will come to you. Another task you can do is ask yourself questions right before you go to bed. And sometimes you wake up and the first thought that comes to your mind, your subconscious, unconscious mind is processing a lot of that, and then we'll give you answers in some format. So a couple other things: make workouts and movement part of what you do, your identity. So, challenge for you guys is kind of evaluate where you are, where you're currently at, where you want to be, where you're going. Is your identity, do you still see some components of your identity that's not serving you? If you have some of those, okay, how can we reframe that operating system to a new identity? How you show up differently, how you communicate your language differently, right? Example, I always make it there on time. I always win. It's easy to lose weight. These are just examples. Pretty simple. Be very, very aware of your environment, what's coming in, okay? TV, radio, your environment at work. If you hear negative language coming in, you may, hey, don't take that on. I don't want to take that on, and reframe or reject it. And you might start speaking in a more of a positive language yourself, and see if the environment around you starts to change. Okay, they will notice. So reframing language is such a huge deal. So figure out your identity, what's not serving you. See if you have programs running. If you need to book a call, book a call. I'm going to throw the link. I meant to do that yesterday. I missed it. So this is just an example of one of the coaching calls. I will get this on a rhythmic routine where you guys can join in, and I might put it on a Thursday at 3:34, somewhere in there. I'm still trying to figure that out with the kids' schedule. So hopefully this helps, guys. Let me know if you guys need anything else. Hit me up.